Hi, and welcome. My name is Keisha Fiore, and I am the founder of the New Teachers Thriving community on Facebook and the creator of the CalTPA All You Need to Succeed video program and the CalTPA Essentials workshops. I am here today to share with you about the importance of writing your ELD standards correctly in the CalTPA. Unfortunately, I continue to see over and over condition codes um, for ELD standards being written incorrectly. In the assessment guide, they give you an example of how to do that. So I'm going to share with you right now how to write your ELD goals so that you do not get a condition code and get that CalTPA returned to you. There's nothing worse than a condition code. The condition codes just give you basically an acknowledgement that you made a mistake and they don't score any of your assessment. And it's just so frustrating because you have to resubmit and hope that the work that you've done already is enough. So in your assessment guide, when you look in your lesson planning, you have to write your California content standard and your California ELD goal, okay? Standard and goals, but standard is what we're talking about specifically. When you get into your assessment guide, you will find a section called Citing the ELD Goals. Okay, and they give you an example how to cite them here. I'm a huge fan of doing exactly as the assessment guide says. So I would write it exactly the way the assessment guide models it. There are a couple other passable formats for doing it. If your university has trained you in a different way, that is okay. But I always refer to the assessment guide in any direction I give because the assessment guide is the Bible for the CalTPA and includes the standards and rubrics that they are going to use to score your project, right? So no matter who tells you anything, what your professors say, any advice that you hear online, you need to compare it to the assessment guide before you trust it, okay? So you cite the ELD standards by finding which part, what is that part called, which section, what is that called, and then which standard, what number, and what is that called. Okay, and they give you an example of how to write a student-friendly goal related to the standard. So where do you find that? How do you look for that? Let's go over to the framework, the ELD framework. You will open the framework and find your grade level. This one, for example, is grade 6. They all have very similar standards because they are progressively building on each other. They get a little bit progressively longer. When you're looking at citing your ELD goals, you do not want to put the corresponding ELA standard. These are the standards from your ELA that help you to select which ELD standard you want to use. But let's think back again to what was it that they were wanting us to put in the standard. They wanted us to put which part, what's the name of that part? So this is part 1, interacting in meaningful ways. A, collaborative. 1, exchanging information and ideas with others through oral collaborative discussions on a range of social and academic topics. When you're choosing your ELD goal, you are going to want to choose a standard that meets the needs of your ELs. If you've got newcomers and students that need to be working with listening and speaking, you're going to want to choose appropriate ELD standards for that. If you've got 3s and 4s and you're doing ELA, you're probably going to want to look for a reading or writing standard. Most often for math, it tends to be fairly easy to use some of the interactive speaking listening because they're sharing out their strategies, they're collaborating in teams and pairs to solve the math problems, etc. So sometimes for math, it's easier to go with a listening and speaking one. Because you really want to think about the needs of your students and the ELs that you talk about, and you're getting to know your students at the beginning template A. so that you are corresponding the needs with the strategies you're providing and the support that you're giving so that students are growing in their understanding of English. But you write it from the ELD framework and you choose, is it collaborative, interpretive, productive? That's what the assessment guide shows. If I scroll down further, there are other parts, learning about how English works. And then there's the specific emerging, expanding, and bridging standards for our students who are in the early levels of language development, in the middle level of language development, and at the higher levels of language development. If you'd like to put those, this is still part 1, interacting in meaningful ways. You may write your standards accordingly and make sure that your emerging, expanding, and bridging makes sense for the levels of the ELs that you have. They don't give an example for how to write these, and I think the more generic open ones might be a little easier to just select and write to. That's totally up to you. If you're struggling with your CalTPA or you don't even know where to start, I created the CalTPA All You Need to Succeed video program. This program is to allow you a step-by-step guide with direction and examples of what to do for every template and for every rubric to make sure that you feel confident that you can successfully pass your CalTPA. If you need some more personalized support and you want to do things like write your lesson plan, choose your standards, write your annotations, I have the CalTPA Essentials workshops. These workshops are super small groups of private groups where we will dig in and help you to choose the correct standard for you, write your lesson plan, write your annotations, and understand exactly what to include with each and every step of the rubrics. And the last workshop is the CalTPA Submission Essentials, where we'll go through the essential pieces of the templates that they score and look and make sure that you've written to the rubrics to get the highest points possible. If you buy the CalTPA Essentials workshops, those 3 as a set, you get the 4th open Q&A for free, where you can just bring your questions, bring your project, and ask me anything that you want. There are a variety of dates available for all of the workshops to help teachers meet your schedules so that there are different days and different times available for you to come and get the support that you need. If you would like more information on the CalTPA All You Need to Succeed workshop or the CalTPA Essentials workshops, video program and workshops, look at the links below or contact me at New Teachers Thriving on Facebook, and I'd be happy to help you out. You can message me at Keisha Fiori on Facebook. My spellings on my name is over here, KECIA FIORI on Facebook, and send me a direct message, and I am happy to get you any information and support that I can. I wish you all the best on your CalTPA and want to be here to help you confidently submit your project and get your credentials so that you can help our teachers help our students have a wonderful education. Have a great day.